Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Silverstone. It's race 2 of the 2019 Formula Europe Finals. And as you can see, it's really raining cats and dogs here in Silverstone. 15 minutes and 30 seconds to go, but before things go much further in the session, let me introduce to you my guest tonight on commentary. Please welcome, for the first time this year, Daniele Spadi.
Thank you, Luca. Good evening to everybody.
Of course, there is someone who is doing some streaming direction tonight, and this man tonight is Alessandro Pietracatella. Please welcome Alessandro, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody.
15 minutes to go, and the most of the drivers are already on track. Well, actually, all the cars are on track. 15 drivers, 5 teams, 3 drivers for each team. And as you can see, they are all on full wet tires, Daniele.
Yes, and it's going to be a very difficult qualifying session. We know that in this game, full wet conditions are very tough, very challenging, and especially at Silverstone with a lot of traction zones, it's going to be very, very difficult today.
And we'll see what's going to happen. The first time are flowing in the timetable, 31.2 for the Williams of F1 and of TF1 Verstappen, sorry. Then 31.8 for Heaven, 31.9 for Skunky, 31.9 for Real Fedele. We'll see what's gonna happen. 31.7 for Adeo. And the first one who's coming down sector 2, it's checking the timetable, it should be, it's Fab.
Yes, Fab in the final sector now.
In the final sector, 41.4 in the second sector. This could be the provisional pole, as we actually have no time set. It's a 1:40.016. That is the first time on the timetable at the moment. We'll see where the other drivers are gonna get. Heaven is 1.2 from Fab, 1:41.2. Then also the 2 Sauber of F1 Simu with Adeo Skanki on the final sector at the moment. 1:41.3 for Casciaro in the third place. Skanki coming down the finish line, and he sets a 1:42.7. Also, F1 Simu Adeo is about to reach the finish line, while here comes a 41.8 for Rail. That is in fourth place. 42.0 for Adeo, 42.3 for Sainz, 40.9 for Reds, 40.7 for Alebale. Real Fedele 41.0 up into fourth place, but now Matthew up into third with a 1:40.817, 1:43.9 for Delege, who is at the bottom of the pile at the moment. Verstappen, TF1 Verstappen, 1:42.069 is in ninth place at the moment. Only Gae and TF1 Albon are the only 2 drivers still without a time. Gae up into 12th place with 1:42.5, while TF1 Albon is having some problems as he's out of the tracks at the moment. And he is going very slow in sector 1.
Yeah, and now watch out for Fab in the final sector. He's improving by 1.5 tenths. He's already 7 tenths quicker than everybody else. Immediately a very good time for him. Let's see if he goes into the 39th, and yes he does.
1:39.936 is the first driver of the grid who goes under the minute and 40 seconds in this qualifying session. Also Evan managed to improve of 1/10 of a second, 140.6, and he is now up into second place. Alebale is improving. He is a 4/10 of a second faster in sector 2. But yes, he could reach P2, but he is not on the same pace of Fab at the moment. We'll see what's going to happen. He's on the final sector at the moment. 140.7 his previous time. He can maybe go for a 40.3, 40.2. We'll see what's going to happen. Reds, 40.2. He's up into second place, but he's immediately overtook by his teammate Talebale. 140.2. He is 3/10 of the pace to Fab, but he's up into second place. So actually, we have Fab leading two F1 MD drivers with Alebale and Reds in P2 and P3, then Matthew in P4, and Real Fedele Rail in second place. Di Legge improves himself to 141.3, but he's only in P9 at the moment. Then there we have Adeo, Verstappen, Sainz, Gae, who improves right now with 141.7. He's now up into 10th place at the moment. Verstappen does not improve. Was a very slow lap by the TF1 driver. And we'll see if he'll try one more time in this lap. Sainz, first sector for him. He's on the same pace of his previous lap. Actually, Sainz.
Wow, Fab, 39.2 in the meantime. 9 tenths quicker than everybody else. What a lap from Fab.
And we still have 10 minutes to go. The rain is still falling here at Silverstone, and it looks like the full wet drivers are still the right choice at the moment. 30.2. Alebale is also improving again, 4/10 of a second faster than before. He can maybe go for a 39.8 at the moment. We'll see. There's a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Maybe it's a Sauber. Yes, it is, but he's pulling up the line. Or a Williams. Anyway, Alebale on the finish line, exit of the club corner. And he goes for a 139.9, 7 tenths lower than Fab, but he is still in second place. Matthew now crossing the finish line, does not improve. Still 140.5 for him. Evan is improving. In the first sector, he's 4.5 seconds faster, 10 faster than before, so he can maybe go for a low 40, but he goes wide at the exit of the cups. So maybe he lost a little bit of time there. Tricky situation at the moment with all of the rain that is on track right now, and it's really tricky for the drivers to find the best grip, the best way to set their fastest lap. Heaven, sector 2 for him, and here comes, no, it's not a, yes, he returned to the pit lane, so we'll see what's going to happen. In the meantime, Real Fedele is trying to improve, 3 tenths of a second faster of himself in sector number 1. Also, Gae in P8, and he's improving. Yes, he's 4/10 of a second faster than himself in sector 1. We'll see what's going to happen, while Real Fedele 3/10 faster than himself in sector 2. He can maybe try to retake P4 on his teammate Matthew. We'll see what's going to happen.
Well, by the way, he's
Matthew
right
is
behind
improving.
his teammate.
We'll see what's going to happen. Real Fedele on the finish line, crossing the line. 140.1, Matthew
second place.
39.9, just 81 cents of a second, while we have some problems with Di Legge, who have just left the session. So we'll see if Di Legge will be able to rejoin, but anyway, if he will be able to rejoin the lobby, he will start from the bottom of the grid from P15, so that is a problem now for one of the Formula Italian team drivers.
Yes, and in the meantime, great job by the Formula Nation boys, the two Red Bulls of Real Fedele and Matthew. Definitely not the fastest in Hungary, Formula Nation, but tonight they seem on point. Matthew in P2, Fedele in P4, very good laps, and we've seen with all the drivers, they're all trying to do a lot of laps in their stints. They are trying to find the confidence, find the right balance with the setup. Of course, we don't know what the weather will be like in the race. They're all trying to just survive this qualifying session really for the race in a bit. Of course, it's going to be important that.
Oh, big risk for Albon, lost his car.
While Gae have
Gets no
improved.
damage.
Yeah, improvement for
F1
Gae
Gae
once
have
again.
improved of 1/8 of a second, is now up into 6th place with 1:40.302. And in the first sector, he does not manage to improve his previous time. So maybe he will decide to return to the pit. There are still 6 minutes of this session left. Matthew, Adeo is improving. He's actually in 8th place. So maybe he can go for a 40.3. Maybe something between P5 and P6. On the finish line is F1 Simo Adeo right now. Oh, he's only P7, 140.4. Just behind his teammate F1 Gae.
Yeah, he lost a bit of time in the final sector, lost 1.5 tenths. Definitely a bit of room for improvement for Adeo.
And we'll see if he will be able to improve. 5.5 minutes to go. Fab is back on track, as well as Cacharo, as well as Sainz, Skanky. We'll see. We may have the opportunity to see lots of improvement in those last 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Fab is crossing the finish line right now. Let's see if he can improve his 1:39.2.
It's going to be very difficult. I mean, that lap alone probably will be enough for pole position. I mean, of course, the track is going to evolve. The track is going to get better and better lap by lap. But, I mean, 6.5 tenths quicker than everybody else. That's a lot of time in a 1 minute 40 lap.
So just taking a look at the timetable to the time that Bob will set in Sector 1. And it's a... Just checking the update of the timetable. 30.9 once again.
Just 1500 faster than his previous time.
So we'll see what's gonna happen while Cacharo setting... it was a high time of 47.2 in Sector 1. So he's going slow at the moment. He's on his out lap. While Rail improved to 40.5, now up into 8th place. Fab coming down the second sector.
41.6 from Fab in the meantime, not quick enough. 6 tenths up, 6 tenths down on his previous lap time, so probably going to start over in this qualifying lap, just trying to improve in the next lap.
Alebale have just started the new hot lap. Taking a look at the Sector 1 of the Ferrari, but checking the timetable is very high because this time has been really invalidated from the game, as same as happened to the Mercedes of F1 MD Red. So they're gonna try one more lap. 3 minutes 20 seconds to go, and now looks like Heaven have improved. Heaven have improved to 140.0. He's now up into 4th place. So F1 MD now have 2 drivers on the second row, with Alebale in 3rd and Heaven in 4th. While Fab coming down the first sector. Oh, and this time is very quick. 30.7 in Sector 1, wow. And he's improving. He's improving of almost 2/10 of a second from his previous lap.
Wow, that's a lot of time in Sector 1. In the meantime, there are a lot of drivers who are trying to post their fast lap in the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds. We're definitely going to see a lot of improvements. Maybe a 1:38 from Fab. We'll see.
We'll see what's gonna happen. Almost, just slightly more than 1.5 tenths of a second faster in Sector 1 from his previous time. A little bit of traffic. There's a salvo there. We should not be able to disturb Fab, that is still on the same gap, still 1.5 tenths faster than his previous lap. He lost just 1 cent of a second. Oh, TF1 Verstappen is out in sector 3. So maybe something happened, but Fab is on the club corner. Just the last meters of this lap with just 2 minutes to go. 139.034. That's a new pole position. He improves of almost 2/10 of a second. While Matthew Alebale in sector 1, and he's not improving. He is 1.5 tenths slower than himself. Even Evan, he's not improving. F1 MD Reds is improving 7/10 of a second. 7/10 of a second faster in sector 2. He can maybe try also to reach P2 with this pace. Let's see what Reds is gonna do. He's on the finish line right now. 1:39.3, just 3/10 of a second off the pace from Fab, pushing him up into P2. And it was a very competitive lap by F1 MD Reds.
Yeah, great lap. In the meantime, Alebale is not improving. In the meantime, even though Matthew's improving now, trying to get that second place back.
Have an improving of 6 cents of a second in sector 1.
Fedele in third place.
Fedele up into third place. 1:39.7 is ahead of Matthew. While Alebale does not manage to improve, Cacharo is improving and is now up into, yes, 8th place. 3/10 of a second faster than before, 1:40.3. And he's now in 8th place. F1 guy does not improve, but still half a minute. Maybe he will have the opportunity for one more lap, while Evan is coming down the second sector right now, and he's almost 3/10 of a second faster than before. He can also go for a mid 39, so maybe he can put up into P3. We'll see what's gonna happen in the last sector. Alebale again 1/10 of a second off the pace compared to himself in sector 1. Gae first sector, still not improving, 3/10 of a second off the pace. Real Fedele improving.
Even Evan in third place.
Evan in third place, but be careful. Both Fedele and Matthew are improving in sector 1, so we'll see what's gonna happen. Real Fedele just 2 cents of a second faster. Cacharo, and he hit the wall. And he completely destroyed his front wing. It looks like he's going to be able to continue, but be careful because someone may find a yellow flag around the track. Real Fedele, sector 2, and he does not improve, as well as no, Matthew is improving of 1/10 of a second in sector 1. We'll see which time he will get at the end of this lap. Reds have got the checkered flag. Rael up into fourth place. 1:39.6. Real Fedele does not improve. Matthew almost 2/10 of a second faster in sector 2. Alebale now on the finish line, up into fourth with 1:39.6, just ahead of Rael of 25 cents of a second. Matthew, he can improve himself maybe up into 39.5. So let's see if he will be able to be faster than Evan. No, he's in 5th place, ahead of Rael, but behind the 3 F1 MD drivers. So we have Fab on the lead, then Red 7 and Alebale, then Matthew, Rael, Real Fedele, Gae, Cacharo, Adeo, Verstappen, Sainz, Dilegge, Skanky, and Albon. That was the only one driver left who didn't take the checkered flag, but he's on his out lap, I do believe. And yes, he's returning to the pit, so it's officially over for this qualifying session. Daniele, how about this qualifying session?
We have to recreate the lobby.
Yeah.
Because Dilegge has crashed.
Yeah,
of course.
And the qualifying session was very, very interesting. I mean, we knew that Fab was probably the main favorite for this race. 3.5 tenths faster than Reds. I mean, Reds put on a very good lap. The two Mercedes guys, P2 and P3, very good stuff from the F1 MD drivers, also Alebale in P4. And it was very close between, I guess, from P3 all the way down to P7. Just a bit more than 2 tenths covering these 5 drivers. It was a very close qualifying session.
So maybe we are going to see something very close even for the race, but as the race direction was saying, we have to recreate the lobby as Dilegge has lost the connection, so it will start from P15, it will start from the bottom of the pile, but he will try to rejoin at the end of this qualifying session. But as you can see now on the screen, we can see the final standing of this qualifying session. 3.5 tenths of a second between Fab and Reds in first row. Then we have the other two F1MD drivers with Heaven in third and Alebale in fourth. Then Matthew, Real, Real Fedele, Gai, Casciaro, Adeo Verstappen, Sainz, Skanky in 13th place. Then Albon and Dilegge, that is in 13th place. But as I said before, we'll start from the bottom of the grid for the race. So we just take a little break and we will back soon as we can with the race. You just have to stay there because the race is going to be surely as exciting as it can ever be. We're coming back just in a few minutes. And we're back live from Silverstone as all drivers have already left the grid for the formation lap. As you can see, there are still some clouds overhead, but it looks like it's not raining at the moment, and all the drivers have chose to go on slick tires, of course. Actually, everyone is on soft tires, exception made for Simo Casciaro and Di Legge, that are the only two drivers on medium tires, as tonight here we have soft tires, medium tires and hard tires, but I'm pretty sure no one will go on hard tires for this race. What do you think, Daniele?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, probably the hard tires are the only choice if you, let's say, if you break your front wing, lap 1, lap 2, they can go all the way to the end, but they're very, very slow. I mean, here the strategy, a one-stop strategy, probably softs to medium or mediums to softs for the two guys that are starting on mediums.
Yeah, sure, because we also have to keep in mind that the time lost in the pit lane here is very high. You almost lose half a minute here, so it's easy for the team to go for a one-stop strategy if you lose all of this time while during a pit stop. Anyway, 52 laps to be completed here on Silverstone. It's the first 100% race distance of the 2019 Formula Europe Championship final, and Fab is starting from pole position, followed by all F1 MD drivers with Reds, Evan and Alebale right in the back. So the red lights with 3, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're about to rock and roll in Silverstone. And it's lights out. The drivers are leaving the grid with Fab maintaining the lead, followed by Red 7. Matthew overtook Alebale, and all the rest of the group looks like nothing has changed. And also Real Fedele is fighting with Gae and Matthew with Alebale. Matthew still on the inside at the turn 4, managed to maintain P4, and also behind the fighting between Rail and Real Fedele, while Verstappen overtook Cadeo. So he's now up into P10 from P11. Inside for Alebale, trying to attack again Matthew, but still maintain the 5th position. At the moment, drivers are fighting a lot there, a little bit of struggling for Casciaro, that is the only one in the middle of the group of the medium tires, and now he is struggling on those tires, and also Di Legge is struggling a bit behind with TF1 Albon. Casciaro again side by side with TF1 Verstappen on the outside, and Maggots and Beckett, and in the end Verstappen managed to get through. What a move by TF1 Verstappen this time.
It's a crucial one too, because Casciaro is on mediums. He's going to have a lot of trouble in trying to find the temperature in the tires, and now he's under attack from Adeo as well.
Alebale on the outside of Matthew managed to stay wheel to wheel with the Red Bull, and now he's gonna have the inside at the club, but Matthew still managed to stay there, and there's a great battle between them, still wheel to wheel at the exit of the club at the end of lap number 1, but Matthew still managed to maintain P4. But look at how much time they've lost. They are already almost 1.5 seconds from Red and Bob.
Rail done inside of Alebale, they make contact. Alebale tries to keep 5th place and manages to do so, but very risky move by Rail into turn 3.
I don't know if you have seen any kind of carbon fiber lost by any of these two drivers.
No damage.
Verstappen on the inside of Gae, Verstappen on the inside of Gae. Now he's gonna have the outside there. It's not gonna be easy, but maybe he can try to go for a switchback move and having a better exit at the exit of the X last corner on the inside of the cups. Ooh, that's gonna be very hard there. They are still wheel to wheel, preparing now. Maggots and Beckett wheel to wheel with Gae defending from Verstappen. Let's see if he can do it, and he does it again with Gae, who goes wide and also lost the position on Simo Casciaro. And now we have to look back because there's TF1 Sainz, and Adeo will go on the inside of Sainz, maybe trying to get through even on F1 Gae. They are very close. They are teammates. teammates. They have to be careful, and they almost touch at the exit of the stove. Fab,
Incredibly
30.7. New passes lap of the race, switchback move by Sainz
What a
on Adeo,
move!
and they are still there wheel to wheel, and they touch with Adeo, who almost lost his car, and he also have his teammate Skanky right behind. That's a very dangerous situation right there with Adeo, who goes also wide at the exit of turn 1, trying on the inside of TF1 side. There was not enough space there at the moment. What a first couple of laps, Daniele.
Yeah, definitely. Now Alebale for 4th place on Matthew down the inside.
They are very close again.
Outside.
They almost touch. Matthew is going to have the inside right there. Now on the exit. Great defensive move, but maybe Alebale will have the opportunity to try to have a better exit there. Maybe trying to get all the slipstream of Matthew is very close, but he don't try to overtake the Red Bull. So far now already almost 2 seconds on Reds. Then there is Evan, 1.2 from his teammate, and Matthew 2.3 from Evan. Alebale right in his back, and Rail is right there. Even Real Fedele in 7th place is not that far from them.
Yeah, Matthew creating kind of a train now with Alebale, Real Fedele. Now Alebale once again down the inside towards Stowe. And this time he made the mistake.
This time he got it. In the meantime, Rail has gone a little bit wide at the Stowe. He lost a little bit of time, but he's still there. He's very close to the Red Bull of Matthew right now. But also Matthew will have the opportunity to use the DRS as he's under the second to F1MD Alebale at the moment. Lap number 4, already 2.2 second gap between Fab and Reds on the lead. 1.4 between Reds and Devon, 2.6 between Devon and Alebale. And then we have Matthew, Real Fedele and Verstappen all very close to each other. While Delege have gained a couple of positions from 15, now he's in 13th place. And Gae on Cacharo. Oh, yes, he got it. Gae on Cacharo now up into 9th place. Sainz, and he's out. Maybe he touched Cacharo, maybe.
No, I think he just spun on his own. He was trying maybe to downshift too quickly. Yeah, kind of a big mistake from TF1 Sainz. Down into 13th place now.
Sainz is down into 13th place. Another spot gained by Delege that is now up into 12. 1.1 from Adeo, Cacharo and Gae, who are all very close to each other. Evan is getting closer to Reds. He's now under the second to his teammate. But still Matthew, right in the back of Alebale, still Rail. So now they are not disturbing each other that much. It looks like they are gaining a little bit of time on both Fedele and Verstappen.
Yes, I think they are quicker right now. Fedele and Verstappen may be struggling a bit, but you know, I think now Matthew just has to stay in the slipstream, try maybe to save fuel and control the situation. It's a very long race. There's no need to be too aggressive in the first couple of laps.
Alebale, Matthew and Rail are on the I-31. Real Fedele and Verstappen are lapping on a low 32, so they are losing 2.03 of a second to Rail. Rail have also lost a bit of time to Matthew in this lap. He is 0.8 of a second from Matthew. And now it looks like the situation is now a little bit calm compared to what it was before.
Yeah, it was a very chaotic first couple of laps with Verstappen, a big tank slapper out of turn 8. Now Verstappen probably is the one closest to another guy, which is Fedele, in a battle for 7th and 8th place. Verstappen looks to be just a bit faster than Fedele right now, but they tied in hanging in there.
So we'll see what's going to happen while Fab have already gained more than 3.5 seconds on the Reds.
Fab right now, very good pace.
I just want to take a look to the time Fab will set at the end of this lap. That is lap number 5 out of 52 here in Silverstone. And actually Fab is lapping on 130.8 compared to 31.5 of Reds, 31.6, 31.3, 31.5, 31.8, 31.7. He's the only one under the 31.
There's a great fly right now in P10. Yeah, Adeo went round the outside of So and then tried the switchback. Yeah, on Cacharo. Cacharo tried to switch back in the chicane,
Ooh,
didn't work
Cacharo
out. Now
again,
Cacharo in the
and
inside.
they touch, and Adeo almost spun, but managed to maintain the car. Maybe this time Cacharo tried a little bit too much.
Yeah, he kind of went to the inside, maybe expecting Adeo to break a bit earlier than that. Adeo broke very late, and now they're trying to move down the inside, but didn't work out.
And we'll see if maybe Adeo will have the opportunity to retake the position. They were very close. How much Adeo was faster than Cacharo there. And now he is very close. Let's see if he's going to try something in the inside of the Cubs corner. Trying to go on the inside. Cacharo leaving enough space on the inside, wheel to wheel. And it looks like Adeo made it again.
Yeah, very good move.
And now,
very good move.
But all of this have helped Dilegge to take the tail on Verstappen on Fedele at the exit of the chapel, right on the angle straight, and Verstappen get through. Now up into P7.
Yeah, Verstappen a bit wide then on Stowe, but Fedele didn't really try to attack himself. He kind of stayed behind Verstappen. Maybe he knows that Verstappen is a bit faster and probably is going to try to stay in the slipstream and catch Rail in P6.
We'll see what's going to happen actually between Rail and Verstappen. There are 1.4 second differential, while Fabian now almost gained 5 seconds on Reds. He's doing another race at the moment, with Reds having in third, Alibale in fourth, Matthew in 5th place. 1.5 seconds from Alibale. Now Alibale is pulling away a little bit more from the Red Bull.
Yeah, and now Fedele maybe tries it down inside. Yes, he does.
Oh, and they touch. There was a contact between the right front wheel of Dilegge and the left rear wheel of Verstappen, but it looks like nothing has been damaged between them. Fedele again taking all the slipstream of the Williams of TF1 Verstappen, but at the cups he still stays behind.
Yeah, it was just a lot faster towards turn 5. He tried something, didn't work out this time. They made contact, but luckily no damage.
3 seconds for Adeo. It's the first driver to receive a 3-second time penalty. Real Fedele is still very close, while Evan is maintaining the gap to Reds. There are almost 7/10, 8/10 of a second between Reds and Evan, the two Mercedes that are actually now in P2 and P3. Rail is getting a little bit closer to Matthew. He was 1.1 the lap before, now 9/10 of a second, and you can clearly see he's opening the DRS line now, and that may be a problem for Matthew because previously Rail was very close to him, but also Matthew got the opportunity to use the DRS as he was under the second to Alibale. But now, if Rail gets a little bit closer, Matthew will not have the opportunity to open the DRS too, and that will be a great opportunity for Rail to try to overtake the Red Bull. But actually, it looks like they are on two very similar paces, so it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, in the meantime, Dilegge trying on Cacharo for P11, down the inside into turn 6.
Oh,
Very clean move by Dilegge. Cacharo tries to defend, ran the outside. Very good move by Cacharo.
And maybe Dilegge will try to switch back, we'll see.
Good. I think he's probably going to wait for the hunger straight when he has DRS, or he's going to try something now. He's going to try something now. Cops, very risky move. No. He backs off.
He backs off, but still he is very close. No, on the inside, the outside of the backhead. So now he stays behind, and also Sainz have gained time on them. Skanky, maybe we didn't notice that. But F1 Simus Skanky have already done his pit stop just one lap ago, as he's almost 41 seconds Dilegge. On Cacharo on the inside at the end of the Angus straight, and he managed to get through. So he's now up into 11th place. So Dilegge and Cacharo are the only two drivers who have decided to start the race with the medium tires. Now they are fighting against each other. Actually, the soft tires are still the better tires at the moment. They are still lapping faster than the medium tires.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the medium tires are going to struggle in the start of the race. We knew that. And now Skanky is on medium tires too. I mean, he had damage on his front wing. He had to pit early. Whether he's going to the end or not, I'm not too sure. But, I mean, right now the mediums are quite a lot slower than the softs.
Rail got very close to Matthew, less than half a second between the Red Bull and the Haas. While Fab on the lead now have 6.1 second on Reds. Also Evan got very close to Reds. Yes, half a second between Reds and Evan at the moment.
And I'm wondering, will we see a position switch between the two Mercedes? I mean, Heaven looks to be just a bit faster than Reds.
Faster, yeah.
Yeah, slightly faster than Reds. I mean, they're not really threatened by Alibaba in fourth
almost lost
place.
his car at the cops, but manages somehow to keep the control.
And Sainz got through at Maggots.
He was there, ready to take the occasion.
Yeah, and
a big risk.
Yeah, and from what I know from Cacciaro, he's struggling with his wheel settings, so it's going to be a very difficult race for him. But you know, he's on medium tires too, so that's another difficulty right there.
Fab still the only one having a pace under the minute and 31, still lapping on 130.8 compared to 31.5 of Reds, 31.4 of Evan, 31.5 of Alibale, 31.7 of Matthew, 31.9 of Rail. He's really doing another race at the moment.
Yeah, and now Heaven really close to Reds, almost went for a move down the inside into turn 6 after the DRS zone, but he wasn't really going to try, was he? Because, of course, he's sort of battling against his teammate. They don't want to damage themselves. Of course, the race is still very long, 42 laps to go, and they're just trying to survive, basically, this first stint, and then going to the mediums and see who's faster then.
We'll see what's going to happen. Of course, the F1MD drivers have nothing to risk because they are in a very, very good position at the moment. They have drivers in second, third and fourth place, so it will be very, very good for their standings to reinforce their lead. So there's nothing, they have nothing to lose at the moment. Dilegge is now gaining on Adeo, and he is almost on the DRS zone of the F1 Simu driver. So we'll see if maybe in the next few laps Dilegge will get much closer to F1 Simu Adeo, while Fab still lapping 30.8 this lap. Matthew 31.7, Rail 31.4.
He's closing
Verstappen 32.2, Rail is getting closer again. He's getting closer there. We'll see if he's gonna have the opportunity to attack Matthew, because it looks like he have a bit more pace at the moment compared to Matthew.
Yeah, he does. He does. Rail, I think, is just a bit faster than Matthew. I don't know whether he's as fast as Alibale or even faster than Alibale. I mean, there's a 2.3 seconds gap between Matthew and Alibale from P5 to P4. So for Rail, I think it's going to be pretty crucial to stay in the slipstream of Matthew and maybe, you know, take advantage of a mistake from the Italian.
And we'll see what Rail is going to do. Now there are just 4/10 of a second between Matthew and Rail. If Rail have a little bit more pace of Matthew, maybe he have to try to attack him as soon as he can, because actually Alibale is pulling away a little bit more, while TF1 Verstappen is the second driver to receive a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting for multiple warnings. Again, Evan very close to his teammate Rez. We are still in P2 and P3 at the moment. Dilegge 6/10 of a second from Adeo, and now he is getting very closer to the Sauber. Adeo is on this almost the same pace of Gae, now just slightly more than 1/10 of a second slower than Gae, but they are on two very similar paces at the moment. And Gae ahead is very close to Fedele and Verstappen, so Dilegge may have a very good opportunity for the second half of the race. Reds overtook by Evan, and maybe that, what do you think, Daniele? Maybe that was a team order?
I think so. I think Heaven has a bit more pace. Probably they want to see whether Heaven can actually go and catch Fab, or at least keep the same pace as Fab. I mean, we don't really know that. We will see in the next couple of laps. I mean, of course, also Red probably wants to save a bit of ERS behind
Fedele,
Heaven.
sorry. Fedele very close to Verstappen, who is defending on the inside of the Cups. Maybe gonna try a switchback move at the exit of the Cups corner. On the outside goes Fedele. They are very close. Fedele still trying to maintain in the inside, but in the end, F1 Verstappen managed to defend, and now even F1 Gaia is very close to them. Let's see what's gonna happen on the Angus straight right now. F1 Verstappen defending on the inside. Real Fedele going on the outside there, wheel to wheel. They are very close, and in the end, Verstappen still managed to defend brilliantly the position. Oh, they are very close again with Fedele. Maybe he's gonna try on the inside. No. So Verstappen is still in 7th place. But now the fight is on between them. And Gae is right there.
Yeah,
and Dilegge, sorry.
And Dilegge overtook Cadeo.
Yeah, Dilegge has overtook Cadeo. And he's just 1.2 from Gae. So maybe the battle between Verstappen, Fedele, and Gae can help Dilegge to take them and maybe try to gain more position, because at the moment, with the position he had at the moment, maybe Dilegge will have a great opportunity for the second half of the race with the soft tires.
Yes, definitely. Dilegge has to kind of sacrifice the first stint as Fedele goes down the inside of Verstappen, tries it once again and is going to go around the outside. Let's see if he makes the move stick. No, he doesn't. Great traction by Verstappen. They're very close. They're risking a lot here, and also they're losing a lot of time now. Maybe Fedele trying around the outside of Cops. No, he's not going to try the move, but I think maybe here towards Maggots and Beckett, that's very risky.
That's very risky. He got it. Yes, he got it.
What a move by Fedele. Wow.
That's great action. Verstappen has done this move twice in the first 2 laps, but now Fedele have overtook Verstappen with his same move
as well.
Ooh, that's gonna be very fun with Fedele on the inside, Verstappen on the outside, on the stove, and that is brilliant by Verstappen. Looks like it's not gonna be over. And they touch. Oh, and there's a multiple contact. I saw some pieces of carbon fiber flying away.
And look at
sure that I don't know if
Dilegge 3 places.
Have gained 3 places.
P10 to P7. Incredible stuff.
I gotta tell you, I don't know if Dilegge have some damage, because he was very close. Oh no, 5 seconds stop and go penalty for Dilegge, ignoring yellow flag.
This is like typical from this game.
Yeah, it's very typical for Formula 1. And I think that, well, it was a very... Yeah, Sainz on Gae in the meantime for P10, he makes the move stick and goes into the top 10. But as I was saying, it was a very close call between Fedele and Verstappen. From what I could see, I think Fedele wanted to hang it around the outside of the chicane. Of course, he will turn to the inside for the club corner, the final corner. But I think Verstappen tried to close the door, and maybe Fedele had the front tires into the rears of Verstappen. I don't know. It's going to be a very close call in the post-race analysis, but right now Fedele is struggling a lot. I think he may have damage.
And we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure that
Sainz,
both Fedele and Gae
down the inside.
Yes.
Yeah, Sainz down the inside. Let's see if Fedele maybe pulls into the pit lane. No, Fedele keeps the place. I think it's a bit early for the pit stop.
Oh, Gae, sorry, Sainz on the outside of the club on Fedele. They are still very close. They are still wheel to wheel, but in the end, TF1 Sainz managed to get through and is now up into 9th place.
Yeah, very good move by Sainz. Of course, opportunistic move. He has to gain the place and try and pull away from Fedele while he's struggling with either his tires or his front wing. We'll have to see. But yeah, definitely a race-changing incident, that one, for both Fedele and Verstappen, from P7 and P8 to P10 and P11.
F1 Gae just put a new front wing on his Force India and a brand new set of medium tires, same as his teammate F1 Simu Skanky, that is in 15th place at the moment. Fab still leading the race after 15 laps. He gained 10 seconds on F1 MD Evan, who have also gained almost 1.2 on his teammate Reds. Then there is Ale Bale, and then there is Matthew, then there is Rail. So for the moment, looks like Rail, he's right there with Matthew, but he don't have the opportunity at the moment to overtake the Red Bull.
No, exactly. And also, looking at the ERS percentage, Matthew is on 87%, whereas Rail is on 48. Rail is pushing a lot to try and keep up with Matthew, whereas Matthew is sort of waiting for the second stint to arrive. I think it's going to be very interesting in the second stint on medium tires between these two in the battle for P5.
And what I'm looking for at the moment, as we are on lap 16, Rail is on 131.9, Delege is on 131.6 with the medium tire. So now things are getting interesting. And in the meantime, I do believe that Rail have just took a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, and that's going to be very crucial as well. At the end of the race, time penalties. Here it's very easy to take a warning. Then, of course, after 3 warnings, there's the 3 seconds time penalty. It's going to be very interesting to see who is going to finish the race maybe without seconds of penalty or with the fewest seconds of penalty. Of course, it's going to be very interesting, but right now I think the Rail strategy is just to stay behind Matthew, not risking anything, trying to stay in 6th place and see what happens in the next few laps.
Lap number 16, and I'm just taking a look to TF1 Verstappen and Simo Casciaro with the McLaren driver of F1 Formula Nation. Oh, Delege, 3-second time penalty. And also this one is going to be important from here to the end of the race. Albon, 3-second time penalty too. Oh, now penalties are flying at the moment. Oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 2, and it's Albon.
Yes.
He maybe lost the car at the exit of the Copse corner.
Yeah, he did. He did, and that's a very difficult corner to recover. A loss of backhand from, of course, very fast corner, and unfortunately he went a bit too fast in the entry and lost the rear.
32-0 for Matthew, 31-7 for Rail, 31-5 for Delege, 31-4 for Adeo. So Adeo also is having a good pace at the moment. Of course, compared to Delege, he's on a softer kind of tires. He's on the soft tires at the moment compared to medium tires of Delege. 11 seconds between Fab and Evan. So now Evan, yes, he overtook Reds, but he's on a similar pace compared to them. No, he's not as fast as Fab at the moment.
Not even close. I mean, Fab is just doing another race. 11 seconds in less than 17 laps. It's pretty big. His advantage is pretty big, but as we were saying before, Heaven is faster than Reds, and Reds right now just outside of that DRS zone, the 1 second zone and gap between Heaven and Reds. And right behind, I mean, right now I think that Delege is right now in a very interesting place because mediums are very good right now compared to the softs.
Mediums are very good. Now Rail is getting again a little bit closer to Matthew.
Not close enough though.
Not close enough to try something at the stove. And now is closer than he was until the lap before. So we'll see if he will be able to try something. We are on lap 18 at the moment. Fab still leading. Anibale 31.8, Matthew 31.5, Rail 31.7. Very close now. Delege 31.4. Adeo 32.1. Sainz 31.7, Fedele 32.1, 31.5 for Verstappen.
Yeah, I think we're in the crossover point right now, really, where the mediums start being as fast as the softs, if not faster. Of course, now Matthew has clean air from, like, I think lap 4 or lap 5. Rail has always been behind Matthew for the entirety of the first stint. So also he's going to be a bit frustrated, I think, because he hasn't got the chance, and he has never got the chance in this race to show his full potential. We don't know if he can go faster than that, or if this is the maximum pace that he has. And of course, Delege keeping up with them. Right now 7.8 seconds from Rail. Definitely one to watch, Delege, in the second stint.
Rail again very close to Matthew, but it should still not be enough. It's 6:10 from the Red Bull. While Skanky also got a 3-second time penalty. Lap number 19 out of 52. Fab again have gained another 0.3 of a second on Evan in this lap. Both Heaven and Reds are lapping on the mid 31, 31.8 for Alebale, 31.8 for Matthew, 31.7 for Rail. 31.2 for Dilegge. Is his new personal best. Now he's on the low 31, Dilegge. While Real Fedele is returning to the pits. Pretty sure he's gonna change his front wing. Maybe he knows that now he can afford 33 laps with the medium tires. No, it is. He did not change his front wing, so maybe, or he will try to continue the race even with a light damage there, or the possibility is that he don't have any damage. Yeah, and the only one who would get damage is Guy.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think Fedele had damage, to be honest. He would fix that. I mean, there's still a long way to go, more than 30 laps at the end. The reasonable thing to do was to fix the damage if he had some. So I don't think he has damage right now. And of course, now he has clean air, new tires. If he's able to put medium tires in temperature as quickly as he can, I think he could gain something. I mean, the undercut could be really powerful here.
Sharo is very close to Verstappen, while Fab, Fab still lapping on 30.9.
Wow, that's so good.
Mamma.
Evan 131.9, Reds 131.5, Alebale 131.7, Casharo on Verstappen, and yes, he got it. So Casharo gets through, and Verstappen is in the pit stop. That is maybe the proof that now the medium tires are working better. Still delayed jet, 31.3, better than the soft tires.
Yeah, definitely. He was 8.3 seconds away from Rail 2 laps ago. Now 6.9. He's gaining so much time, and I wonder, can Rail maybe try the undercut now on Matthew, trying to stop 1 lap early, and maybe try and gain the position there, because I think the medium tires right now are very good.
I give you another point of view. Maybe Rail can also try an overcut, because the most of the times we have seen that that if you go on a harder compound for the second half of the race, you need a little bit more time to get your tires on the good range of temperature. So maybe can Rail, if you really have just a couple of tenths of pace more than Matthew, try an overcut on the Red Bull. So maybe he's just waiting for Matthew to stop, and then he will stop the lap later. That's another point of view.
Yeah, I think you're right, because actually we have real evidence of that, because Verstappen stopped the lap later than Fedele. Yeah, right now Red's in the pit lane. Maybe he's going to try the undercut.
Alebale too.
Yeah, Alebale following him.
Pretty sure that Evan will stop the next lap.
Yeah, and I think actually the overcut is better than the undercut, because right now Fedele goes down the inside of Verstappen, meanwhile, into Cops. But Verstappen had overtaken Fedele in the pit stops, stopping a lap later. So I think the overcut is better now, as Fedele though regains the position round the outside with a heel temperature mediums, compared to Verstappen, which is probably still on cold mediums after the pit stop.
And now one of the most important things for Reds Alebale, it will be to don't find traffic ahead of them. Reds is coming out right now, but Albon is they are completely free at the moment. There's no traffic ahead of them, so no problem. Sainz just exiting the pit lane right now.
I think he's going to join ahead of Fedele and Verstappen,
yeah,
ahead of Fedele and
Verstappen.
Yeah,
really exit,
Yeah, by quite a bit actually. So very good overcut by Sainz, and yeah, this just proves your theory. The overcut is better than the undercut. So I think right now, for the battle of what will be, in the meantime, Fab into the pit lane. He's going to stop right now on lap 21. And I think that in the battle between Matthew and Rail, I think Rail is going to wait for Matthew's pit stop right now.
And Rail is very, very close at the moment, because it looks like Matthew is struggling a little bit more. Matthew goes in and Rail goes in too.
Very interesting.
And we'll see what's going to happen. Yes, the same for me, because Matthew now have his box before the one of Rail, so it will be very hard for Rail. Because
Rail
I'm
is not going
pretty
to gain position. No.
I'm pretty sure that the mechanics of Rail will not let go. And as you can see, no. He also lost more times.
Yeah.
Because he left his box. He left his box later. Strange decision.
Yeah, very strange decision. And in the meantime, Dileje finds himself in P1, and Fab just 1.4 seconds behind. I mean, Fab almost had a pit stop advantage at Silverstone, where you almost lose half a minute with a pit stop. This just shows you how quicker Fab is compared to the rest of the field right now.
And one more, while Verstappen sets the new fastest lap of the race, Dileje is still improving, and he's doing green sector on green sector every single lap in the last few
they
laps.
now use the Fab DRS to try to keep a better pace at the moment.
Maybe,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
good
that Fab
try.
will be with the Dileje in a few laps, but as you can see, even if Fab got an extraordinary race pace tonight, he lost 3 or 4 tenths of a second in the first lap after the pit stop, compared to Dileje, who have 29 laps on these tires.
Yeah, tire temperature. Of course, medium tires are harder tires compared to the softs, and they just need more time to generate temperature and just go in the perfect range where they can generate the best pace possible. And of course, I think now Fab has his tires in perfect range, in perfect temperature, and right now he's going
Real
to gain a
Fedele.
lot of time on
Fedele
delay.
and Verstappen, Fedele and Verstappen, with Verstappen trying on the inside on the Angus straight. He had the inside at the still, and he got through now up into
Fedele
11th
comes
place.
back.
Ooh, on the outside goes Fedele. Maybe gonna try to switch back move at the exit of the club corner.
Whoa!
Oh, again a contact almost between them with Verstappen
Wow!
going a little bit wide, while Sainz with 30.3 sets the new fastest lap of the race. While Fab have already gained now 4 tenths of a second on Dileje, but also Dileje is having a very good pace because
Yeah.
Fab have gained just 3.5 tenths of a second in the last lap.
Yeah, and remember, he's going to have soft tires in the second part of the race. It's going to be very interesting to see where Dileje fits into all of this. But yeah, going back to Verstappen and Fedele, they're just
Still
fighting since
improving.
lap one. They're
Yeah,
non-stop fighting in this race, and they already made contact, I think, 2 or 3 times, and one of them ended up pretty badly.
Dileje is still improving in sector 2, still improving his personal best time. Let's see how he's going to conclude this lap. It's lap number 23 out of 52. And he's now in lapping in 30.9, but Fab, of course, got the fastest lap. 30.0, the fastest lap of the race.
Wow.
Compared to Casciaro, that is on the same strategy of Dileje, Casciaro was 8 tenths of a second slower this lap. 39.9 for Dileje, 31.7 for Casciaro.
Yeah, and I think now Fab is going to take the lead out of turn 5. Yeah, Delay just
Yeah.
doesn't even think about defending. I mean, there's no point. But of course, Fab takes the lead, and Dileje right now is doing a very, very good job. He's going to be right in the mix. I don't think for a podium position, but maybe for a top 5, he could be there.
But we just have to don't forget that Dileje started this race from the bottom of the pile after losing the
Exactly.
connection during the qualifying session. So he started from P15. He's actually in P2. He was P1 just a few seconds ago. Of course,
he was
still have to
stopped in the
stop.
first laps because of lag, so he lost a lot of time in that 4
Yeah.
or 5 laps.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. Again, F1, MD, Evan, and Reds very close to each other. Taking a look at the gap that Dileje have on Alebale, there are 19.1 seconds between Dileje and Alebale. Maybe Dileje, after his pit stop, if he could stop in the next few laps, while Fab goes even faster. 1:29.5 is the only driver who's lapping under the minute and 30 second at the moment with the medium tires. Compared to Evan, was on, let me check, 30.6, 30.2 for Reds, 30.3 for Alebale, 30.5 for Matthew, 30.8 for Rail. So actually between Dileje and Alebale there are 18.5 seconds. So maybe Dileje could come out from the pit lane approximately 10 seconds from Alebale.
Yeah,
Approximately.
probably. Yeah, I think he's going to rejoin between Rail and Adeo in 8th place, and that alone will be a very good result from Dileggio starting from the back on the grid. But remember, he's going to have soft tires, so Rail
Yeah.
and Matthew definitely are his main targets in this race, and maybe even Alebale.
And Dilegge is going still faster, improving of 1/10 and a half in sector 2.
That's incredible.
So he can maybe go for a mid 30 in this lap.
That's incredible. He's lapping as fast as the other guys. However, he has 21 more laps on his tires. That's incredible. He's
Taking a
doing
look
a very, very fine
at the
job.
end of this one. Fab 29.8, Dilegge 130.7. Just taking a look to Casciaro, as I said before, is the only driver on the same strategy of Dilegge.
And he's struggling a lot.
He's struggling a lot. He's lapping on a 31.9, 1.2, 30.8 for Evan, 30.5 for Alebale. The F1MD drivers are not even gaining on Dilegge, even if they have 20 or 21 younger tires than Dilegge.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, Dilegge is really pushing himself today. He's showing very good pace and very good race strategy because he's just staying out. Now he has clean air. He has 14 seconds on Casciaro. He's definitely a one to watch, maybe even for a podium finish right now, because Heaven doesn't look as fast as he was in the first stint, because Red is just 5/10 behind him, and then Alebal is also 1.8 seconds behind Heaven, and he was more than 3 seconds behind him on the soft stint. So Heaven maybe not liking the mediums as much as he liked the softs.
And there are two things that we sure have to remember. Is that Dilegge have a 5-second stopping on penalty for ignoring yellow flag, and he also already have a 3-second time penalty, so he's gonna lose 5 more seconds in the pit lane at the moment of his stop. It's not gonna be easy, but maybe he can try to fight for the podium. We'll see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. I mean, looking at the two Mercedes, they only have one warning each, talking about track extending and corner cutting, whereas Alebale already has a 3-second time penalty. So definitely Dilegge, the one with the most penalties right now in the top 5. He's going to have to do a mega second stint, I think, but he's capable, I think. He's doing a very good job on mediums, on old mediums. I think on softs, he could be, well, he will be the fastest guy on the track, I think, but definitely could be a contender for a top 5, if not for a podium finish.
And we'll see what's he gonna do, because Dilegge still have to be very, very careful. Evan have just taken the second warning in this lap, but Dilegge is on the second warning again, so at the next one he will get another 3-second time penalty, so you also have to be very careful. Heaven have gained 4.5 of a second on Dilegge in the last lap, while Fab have gained 3.3 seconds on his teammate after he overtook Dilegge. Now there are 3.5 seconds between them. Fab at the end of lap number 27, 129.9, Dilegge 130.8. And now Casciaro, maybe Casciaro can be someone who can help Dilegge at the moment, because the two Mercedes of Evan and Reds are right there, and even the Ferrari of Alebale is right there. Casciaro is lapping on the high 31, 31.8 on the last lap, but just stay there, because that's going to be a very interesting situation between Casciaro, Evan Reds, and even Alebale.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Casciaro probably will be Dilegge's best friend, because Heaven, Reds, and Alebale will lose a lot of time. Just look at the difference in grip for Heaven compared to Casciaro.
Sure. He's already
He was
very close.
all over Casciaro, and now he goes down the inside and takes third place. Reds, I don't think is going to be as close as he would like to be in order to try move on Casciaro, but he's very close, and Casciaro is just a sitting duck right now. He's just a lot slower than Dilegge, not finding his rhythm on the mediums. I think he can't wait for this team to be over and just jump on the soft tires and do the best job he can.
We'll see what's gonna happen anyway. The one who's losing time now is Reds. that is still behind Cacciaro, while his teammate Evan already got through the McLaren.
And Alibali is closing in.
And it's not going to be easy this time because Cacciaro is 5/10 of a second from Evan. And yes, it is. He's going to use the DRS. So, as you can see, Reds is not gaining.
And now he's going to lose a lot of time into sectors 1 and 3, 3 and 1. Of course, a lot of a slower sector, sector 3 with the chicane, the club section. And now traction-wise, just look at Cacciaro struggling with his tires. He goes completely wide in the final corner. Now Reds down
on the inside
to
of turn 1.
Very risky move, but Cacciaro played it very well. He didn't want to force the hand. Of course, he knows that he's on old tires. He just doesn't have the same grip as Reds or Alebale. So very clever from Cacciaro, not trying to defend too much. But Reds, I mean, he didn't even lose a lot of time. He only lost like a couple of tenths.
No, Evan
so wasn't that bad.
Evan had gained time as Evan has set his personal best lap on the at the end of the last lap they completed at the end of lap 28. He improves of almost 4/10 of a second his time, and now there are 15 seconds between Dileggio and Evan.
Yeah, and Dileggio is doing he keeps doing his job really. He's just driving around at a very good pace for his worn tires. Already 28 laps. We're starting to wonder when will he stop, because of course, like the first,
it's gonna be close.
The first real guy to pit was Gaet 14 laps ago, and then Fedele 10 laps ago. Meanwhile, Alebale goes down the inside of Cacciaro and takes the place. Very close stuff between the two of them. Cacciaro maybe wasn't expecting it, and Cacciaro goes into the pit lane. So pit stop for Cacciaro.
I don't know that there's been a contact between them, and maybe if Cacciaro had decided to pit, knowing that he got some damage on his front wheel, because I don't know if there's been a contact between them, because they were very close, and Cacciaro got wider instantaneously just when Alebale was on his inside.
He's not fixing his front wing at the pit stop, so I don't think he has damage.
So no, just strategy.
And now he's going on the soft tires. Of course, he doesn't have the same problem as the others had when pitting for mediums with the temperatures. So he's going to push from lap 1 on this stint, and we'll see where he rejoins. I think he's going to rejoin just ahead of Gaed. Yeah, just ahead of Gaed in 12th place. And he has fresh air. Now he has his teammate ahead, Rio Fedele, 6.8 seconds ahead. He has the time and the space to push and try and gain a couple of places. And of course, this will be kind of a benchmark for Dileggio to see how quick can Cacciaro go on new softs and when Dileggio can potentially stop, maybe even after this corner.
We'll see if Dileggio will return to the pit.
No, he's
continuing. Out. He stays out. Fab 29.6 in this lap.
Wow, that's very quick from Fab.
Dileggio is still on the high 130.8. Evan maybe is on the mid 30. We'll see at the end of this lap. He didn't gain almost anything in this lap. Let me see. 138 Dileggio, 136 Evan, 1.5 second gain on this. 1.5 gain on Dileggio in this lap. But remember, there are 29 lap differential between Dileggio's medium and F1 and the Evan medium.
And right now, Red is all over Heaven. I think he's quite a lot faster right now, and we'll see if there's a position switch, and I think there will be. Yeah.
Yes.
Reds goes down the inside. Heaven doesn't protect the inside. He knows that it's his teammate. He can't afford to lose time, and Reds goes through, and we'll see if Reds will have the same pace Heaven had in the first stint. So it's going to be very interesting right now. Reds right now claiming provisional P2, now P3. Heaven right behind him, and Alebade right behind him. So the three Formula 1 motorsport drivers are doing a very good job right now. Probably the best job they can do. Of course, Fab right now in a league of his own in P1.
And of course, that was a good strategy by the F1 and the drivers.
Yeah, Dileggio in the pit lane.
For Dileggio, and Dileggio was still on on the same times of his personal best in Sector 2. So don't forget, he's gonna pay for a 5-second stopping goal penalty on his pit stop. So for 5 seconds when he stopped, all the mechanics will not be able to touch the car. And yes, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now they can pick up the car and change all the 4 wheels, and Dilegge rejoining, leaving the pit lane. Rail is coming down the finish line right now. He's gonna be maybe close with Adeo and Sainz that are crossing the finish line right now.
He's exiting now.
And he's just behind them.
Yeah, just behind them. Maybe
He's
not what he wanted.
just behind them.
Yeah.
Not what he wanted, but unfortunately, the 5-second time penalty have really cost him a lot.
Yeah, because he would have been clear of Sainz and Adeo. They will be in P7. Now he's in P9. 2 more cars to overtake. Of course he has fresh tires. Of course he has soft tires. But there's still 2 more cars to overtake. So it's going to be very difficult for him to try and make the best of it, because he can't afford to lose time. He cannot afford to lose time. He just has to go place by place, car by car, and just trying to go as fast as he can, trying to maybe catch Rail and Matthew right now in 6th and 5th place.
In the meantime, Fab have almost gained 23 seconds to F1MD Reds, but after Reds overtook Kevin, looks like he's not pulling away on his teammate.
No,
yes,
he's not. And
in the end, even Alebale is getting closer.
Yeah, Alebale is getting closer, and maybe Alebale is the fastest out of the 3. I mean, I don't think they're going to fight. Of course, they're all teammates, so it wouldn't be reasonable for them to fight. But at the same time, they've got to watch out for Dilegge, who's going to come on those soft tires. Of course, though, Dilegge has 20 laps to do, so he cannot afford to push as hard as he can from the get-go. He has to maybe wait a couple of laps and not push as hard as he can, because otherwise the tires are going to fall off, and just get too worn, and then he cannot afford to push anymore. So it's going to be a very interesting stint for Dilegge. Realistically, I don't think he's going to be able to catch the F1MD drivers.
And the fact is that now Dilegge have a big problem, because F1 Simo Adeo and TF1 Sainz are fighting between each other for P7 and P8, and Dilegge is right there. He's already right there. I think he almost gained 1 second in the last lap on them.
Yeah, he's just so much quicker on those tires. I mean, he was quicker than them on all mediums. Imagine what he can do on new softs. He's probably, dare to say, he's the 2nd quickest guy today after Fab. So he's very quick today, and I think he's going to try and overtake Sainz as quickly as he can. Maybe not right now. Of course, Sainz has the DRS on Adeo, so it's going to be very difficult for Dilegge.
And of course, for Dilegge, the faster he got the opportunity to get through, the easier it will be for him to overtake Adeo, because Adeo have no DRS, but Sainz have the DRS because he is under the second to Adeo. Dilegge is very close right now. Let's see if he's gonna dive on the inside of turn 1. No, he stays behind, but he's very close right there.
There he goes.
Trying on the inside.
Not enough.
No.
Not enough.
Maybe the switchback move right now, because Sainz is not gonna have a good exit here. Very close right now. This time is gonna be good. This time is gonna be good. On the inside goes Dilegge, and he goes through on the F1 sides. And now, time for him to see how fast as he can. He will be able to take the position on F1 Simo Adeo. The less time he loses, the much it will be easier for him to gain position on the others.
And I think he's going to try it in the hangar straight towards Stowe.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to overtake 2 cars in 1 lap. Definitely possible. I mean, we saw the traction with these new soft tires is immense. So much quicker than Sainz and Adeo through Maggots and Beckett's as well. He's definitely going to overtake Adeo now.
He's already very, very much faster.
There he goes.
Then Adeo, and with the DRS goes on the inside at the end of the hangar straight on the inside of Stowe, and Dilegge gets through. He's now up into 7th place, 7.5 seconds from his teammate Trail in 6th place, and between Rail and Matthew, there are 4.1
contact between
seconds.
Real Fedele and
Oh, Fedele and
Verstappen.
Verstappen again.
Fedele and Verstappen again. Fedele and
That was
Verstappen again.
quite
It's a
bad to see because Verstappen did the zigzag during the whole
Ay, ay, ay.
straight, trying to keep Fedele
Wow.
behind.
Fedele
Again,
is
a
not
yellow
going to be
flag in
happy.
sector 3, and this time the yellow flag was caused by Albon, who maybe lost his car at the end of the at the chapel corner, maybe.
Yes. He went on the grass, but yeah, going back to Fedele and Verstappen, once again they touched, and this time it was Fedele who got the worst outcome,
Yeah.
and he's not going to be happy with Verstappen's behavior. I think now he's P12. He has been overtaken by his teammate Simo Casciaro, and of course Casciaro is now on soft tires. He's going to try and catch Verstappen probably to see if he can get into P10 and finish the race there.
And we'll see what's gonna happen. The first things I would like to watch at the end of this lap is the pace of Dilegge, who is improving a 4/10 of a second his best lap before. Even Sainz is very close to Adeo. Adeo defending on the center of the track. TF1 Sainz
Wow, what a
going
move.
on the outside of the stove. And yes, he got it. What a move by TF1 Sainz.
Very clean move and very brave move as well. It takes a lot to go around the outside there, let me tell you. It's definitely a very risky move and a very difficult one. We don't see a lot of those moves in real life, let alone in a video game, but very good move by Sainz to go up into P8.
And taking a look to Dilegge's pace, he sets a 1:28.9 at the end of this lap, and he have already gained 1.5 seconds on Dilegge, on the rail, sorry. Now there are 5.4 seconds between rail and Dilegge.
Dilegge is just a lot faster than the other guys. And in the meantime, let's talk about Rail for a minute, because he was right behind Matthew in the first stint. But with the medium tires, after the pit stop, we were saying maybe he should have stayed a lap longer on softs and then pitted for mediums. From the moment he's pitted, he's just lost time compared to Matthew. Matthew's just been faster than him on medium tires, and Rail wasn't able to keep up with Matthew.
He struggled all the first stint using DRS to keep the pace of...
Oh,
and Albon is wrong
again! Albon again! How much is Albon struggling tonight?
Yeah, he's struggling a lot, and props to him because he's trying to finish the race. Of course, every position counts, so he has to finish the race. And yeah, he's struggling a lot tonight. Probably not the weekend and not the race he wanted.
29.8 for Dilegge. Another 1.1 second gain on Rail. Now there are 4.5 seconds between him and Rail. And between Matthew and Rail, there are 4.3 seconds. Maybe the most realistic possibility for Dilegge is to trying to finish P5 tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Alebale Heaven and Reds. They're doing a very good job, the F1MD guys, because they're staying together, not attacking themselves, not losing any time. They're doing a very good job. And in the meantime, Dilegge is clearly the fastest guy on the track, but the fact is, Fab is just 3/10 slower than him on medium tires and on very old medium tires, on 10 laps older tires compared to Dilegge. That's just unbelievable from Fab. He's, again, in a league of his own. He has been untouchable tonight. There's nobody who was even close in the race to try and maybe even scare him. But Fab right now, a flawless race so far.
Well, for the first time ever now, the F1MD drivers behind were on the same pace of Fab, 29.6 for Fab, 29 for Reds, 29.5 Evan, 29.5 Alebale. Dilegge 3.3, again 1.2 second gain this lap on Rail. He gained 4 seconds in 3 laps on his teammate.
He's coming. He's going to catch Rail, and to be honest, as their teammates, I don't think Rail is going to put up much of a fight, because if he does, Dileggio will lose time, and if he
Yeah.
doesn't, Dileggio will have more time to try and catch and overtake Matthew. So it's going to be crucial for Dileggio to go around Rail as quickly as he can. In the meantime, there's a big fight going on for P8 between Adeo and Sainz. Now Adeo losing the
Adeo!
car, that's very risky.
And Sainz get through, and Sainz get through. I
Yeah.
was just ready to talk about this, the fact that in somehow Adeo managed to retake the position on Sainz after
he did
Sainz overtook
install.
Adeo on the outside.
Yeah, he did exact same move. He went round the outside at Stowe, probably learned from Sainz, and just went round the outside and copied the move that the Toro Rosso guy did the lap before. So unfortunately right now, all his efforts didn't count, as he made that mistake after turn 7 in Luffield, and yeah, now he has to do it all over again.
30.1 Matthew, 30.3 Rael, 29.7 for Dileggio, 30.1 for Sainz. Now, this last lap was a little bit slower by Dileggio. He was constantly on the low 29. Do you think that maybe the soft tires are going to start to struggle a little bit more now, or maybe he decided to, that's a possibility, maybe decided to recover a little bit of energy for the next few laps?
I don't know. I don't think it's quite soon enough for the soft tires to feel a bit off. You know, not as quick as the start of the stint. He's only in his eighth lap, so I think it's too soon to say that he's struggling with tires. But at the same time, definitely the softs don't last as long as the mediums go. Of course, the mediums not only last longer, but also they are able to produce more consistent laps. And of course, the soft tires being faster, it wears out more quickly. So, of course, Dileggio is going to struggle in the next couple of laps. He's going to gain still on Rail and Matthew, but probably not like a full second as he was doing before. So, right now, it's crunch time for Dileggio. He has to overtake Rail and try and attack Matthew as soon as possible, because otherwise in the final laps he's not going to have the grip to overtake Matthew.
Dileggio now is back on the low 29 with 29.3 in the last lap. Dileggio with the soft tires is lapping on the same time of Fab, who have also lapped on the 29.3, setting his new personal best after 18 tires. But we already know that those medium tires are constantly improving lap after lap during the stint. Even if they are getting older, they are still getting faster as well as the fuel goes down in the tank. Reds, Evan and Ale Bale were all on the low mid 130 in the last lap. Matthew and Rael both on 130.0. And Albon again.
Wow.
He's really struggling a lot tonight. And then the F1MD drivers are coming. So Reds, Evan and Ale Bale, all three of these drivers overtook Albon.
Yeah, and Albon right now just letting all the people go. He has a broken front wing. He's going to go in the pit lane. So a very disappointing race for him and for Territory F1 as well. Right now, the other Territory F1 driver, the best one so far, Sainz in P8, still ahead of Adeo, but Adeo hasn't given up whatsoever. He's still 5 tenths behind, trying to stay there. In the meantime, the three F1MD drivers very close to one another, having just 2 tenths behind Reds, and now Alebade 5 tenths behind him. Whereas behind, Dileggio just catched the Rail, who's struggling a lot right now on his medium tires.
Well, we missed something because, yes, Dileggio is pushing guard, but actually we have missed the fact that he collects another 2-3 second time penalty.
Wow.
So that means that Dileggio have 9 seconds on his back to discount at the end of the race.
That's a lot, considering that Matthew doesn't have any. He's just on 2 warnings. So right now it's going to be extremely difficult for Dileggio, dare I say impossible, to gain not only those 6 seconds between himself and Matthew in 10 laps, but also to gain another 9 seconds to overtake Matthew and put that gap that he needs to finish ahead, whereas right now Heaven takes second place off of Reds. So another switch in the Mercedes, between the Mercedes.
And there's going to be maybe another switch, and yes it is, because obviously Rail lets Dileggio through.
Yeah.
And we'll see if
Predictable.
Dileggio will have the opportunity. It's almost impossible. Just 10 laps to go. Lap number 42 out of 52 here in Silverstone. So now the standing says that Formula Motorsport drivers got to 95 points. 12 more points than Formula Italian team, that is second with 83. Then Formula Nation in third with 44. Territory F1 in fourth with 37. And F1 Simo in fifth place with 21.
It's been a very good weekend for the F1MD guys. They're doing an extremely good job. You know, 3 drivers, P2, P3, P4. I mean, they're doing a very good job, and it's going to be crucial in the end for the championship because, of course, they're in it to win it right now. They want to win the whole thing, and right now it's possible because they're doing a very good job. Of course, after Hungary, they did a very good job there too. So, yeah, they are, dare I say, the favorites right now? I don't know. It's going to be very close, of course, in the next few races. But today, after Fab, the F1MD guys were the better team. Maybe they didn't have the better driver, but as teams go, they were the better team today.
And of course, we'll still have 9 laps to go. One thing I was thinking about is the fact that starting from the finals, both Fab and Tonix, that are maybe the most anticipated drivers of the competition, the battle we were waiting for, they both got 3 tokens before the final, so it means they can race the 50% of the final races, 3 races out of 6. Maybe I was thinking about, and I was wondering about the possibility that maybe we're never going to see a face-to-face battle between Fab and Tonix, because there's going to be maybe a great possibility that Fab will race in the races where Tonix is not going to race, as it happened this week. Because Tonix have raced in Hungary, and Fab have raced tonight. So maybe that is a situation that can maybe repeat it next week.
Yeah, that's possible. It's going to be very interesting to see how F1MD and of course Formula Italian team are going to choose their drivers, and of course, well, it will be extremely good and
Albon
incredibly
again
good.
in the wall.
As Albon keeps on struggling.
Of the Beckett's.
Wow. And now he has to be very careful in rejoining because there's the Red Bull of, I think, Fedele coming through. Now it's Matthew, so he has to be extremely careful. And yeah, as I was saying, it would be great for maybe Fab and Tonix to face each other in the final race in Abu Dhabi, maybe to even decide who is going to win the whole thing. But of course, one can dream, and it's very possible that the two of them won't even face themselves in this finals. It's very possible. We just have to wait and see and wait for the decisions of the two teams.
We'll see what's going to happen while we are on lap 44 out of 52. Just 8 laps to go. There's one more thing I want to remember to all the ladies and gentlemen that are watching at home tonight. At the end of the race, you're going to have the opportunity to vote your driver of the day. And all you have to do is to go on our official Twitter account. You're going to find the pool and you can vote your driver of the day. So don't forget to go on the official account of Formula Europe on Twitter. You will have the opportunity to vote your driver of the day. While Fab is closing lap number 44 now, almost half a minute on Evan. Fab still improving himself for the first time. He goes under the minute and 29 with 1:28.9 in the last lap. And maybe the F1MD drivers are surely managing the situation.
Yeah.
There's a possibility they may lap this time on a low minute and 30 seconds. We'll see at the end of this one. Of course, Dileggio is gaining time on Matthew, but I'm pretty sure that also Dileggio have given up on the possibility. Oh, Albon is out. Albon has lost the connection with the session. No, the
Yeah, he's
F1
retired
drivers
altogether.
are lapping on the mid 29, 29.6, 29.4, 29.5 for Heaven, Reds, and Alebale.
Yeah, they're
Now
doing a very good job.
they're doing a very good job. Dilegge maybe with 7 laps to go is not going to have the opportunity to gain the 9 second he needs on rail. But anyway, for Formula Italian team, that is not going to change anything because they can also they are going to end anyway in P6 and P7. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
who's going to end in front of who.
Yeah, exactly. And right now I think that Dilegge just has, I don't know, I think he's given up on catching Matthew because he knows that in 7 laps, gaining the 4 seconds he needs to overtake Matthew plus the 9 seconds he needs to get over his time penalties, it's impossible right now unless Matthew makes a mistake. So I think Dilegge right now is just trying to keep his tires cool, just to keep them alive and just keeping the pace he's keeping because he's doing a very good job. He's still gaining on Matthew, so of course
Yeah.
he will be there to capitalize on any of Matthew's mistakes. Of course, right now Matthew didn't make a single mistake all race long, and Dilegge just ran now probably bracing himself to finish in P6 and then P7 after penalties come. But of course, Raylo, his teammate, as you were saying before, he will overtake him. But for Formula Italian team, nothing will change.
And in this lap, Fab have gained 7/10 of a second on Heaven, 29.0 compared to the 29.7 on Heaven. Almost the same pace also for Reds and Alebale. Matthew was not that bad at the end of this lap, 29.4. Dilegge 29.1.
He's doing a
So
good
we
job,
can.
Matthew, right now.
He's doing a good job.
Compared
He's having a good pace in those last few laps.
Yeah, definitely.
While they are still fighting Sainz and Adeo, with Adeo trying on the inside at turn 5, but he have to stay behind Sainz. It's a never-ending story between Adeo and Sainz, but unfortunately I have to say that there are a 3-second differential in terms of time penalties between Sainz and Adeo, because TF1 sides have 6-second time penalty and Adeo have a 3-second time penalty. So if maybe Adeo is informed of the situation, he knows he did enough to take any risk.
Yeah, he can try and stay behind him without penalties, but he already has 2 more warnings, so he's got to be very careful with his driving. And of course, yeah, as you were saying, a never-ending story once again. A very good fight between Sainz and Adeo, actually. A lot of space between the two of them. They always try to give themselves space when they were attacking. In the meantime, Fedele overtakes his teammate Casciaro for P11, of course, on medium tires, and I think Casciaro doesn't really have the pace tonight compared to Fedele. But yeah, as we were saying, Sainz and Adeo, a very good fight. Probably the same as Verstappen and Fedele. However, Verstappen and Fedele, I think they touched 3 or 4 times and lost a lot of time. So yeah, definitely 2 very different battles. And right now, Sainz and Adeo, P8 and P9, they're doing a good race.
Another improvement by Fab, 128.906 at the end of this lap.
28.
While, yeah, he's still lapping on the high 28. I'm just taking a look at the timetable of Fab. I just want to take a look at this one this time. From lap 40, 29.3, 29.1, 29.2, 29.1, 28.9, 29.0, 29.0, 28.9, and again
Adeo
a new
Sainz.
personal best in Sector 1 with Adeo on Sainz, and
yeah,
again get through.
Straight. Yeah, very good move. He was clearly faster in the straight line, exited from Chapo way better than Sainz and made the move stick. But yeah, as you were saying, Fab is just a machine right now. He's just so consistent and so quick. It's just a joke, really. I cannot understand how he does it. He's so quick and so consistent. It's just incredible.
A second time penalty for Rail. They now have 6-second time penalty compared to the 3-second time penalty of Adeo. Rail have to be very careful because he have only a 1.4 second margin before Adeo can get under the 3 second and get the position again. So maybe at the moment for Rail, his best friend may be TF1 Science. Because if they continue to battle, Adeo will not have the opportunity to gain the time he need. But at the moment, there are still 4.5 seconds between them, counting the penalty, 1.5 seconds between Rail and Adeo.
Yeah, definitely. Science, I don't think he's done with the battle. I think he wants that P8 on track.
Don't think so.
I don't think he's going to give up. So definitely Science can be Rail's best friends right now. And we'll see, probably not this lap, but Science is definitely still there in the slipstream with DRS, with ERS as well, able to produce more energy and more brake horsepower when he wants to. So definitely Science preparing for another move with 3 laps to go.
30.0 for Rail, 29.7 for Adeo, 3/10 of a second gain by the F1 Simu driver on Rail, and now just a 1 second differential between Rail and Adeo with 3 laps to go. I think that the battle between them, it all depends from what the F1 Science will decide to do. If they battle again, it will be almost impossible for Adeo to gain the time in it. There are still 1.2 seconds between Rail and Adeo. As you can see on screen, between Rail and Adeo, actually, there are 4.2 seconds. But with the 3-second penalty differential, in terms of game time penalties that there are at the moment between Rail and Adeo, there are just 1.2 seconds between Rail and Adeo. So the race is still on between them.
Yeah, in the meantime, Reds goes up into P2 once again, overtakes Heaven, his teammate, for the second spot on the podium. Really right now they're just trying to control the race and see who's faster and putting them at the front of this little train of Formula Motorsport drivers. And yeah, they're just controlling the race so far. But yeah, Simo, Adeo and Sainz battling once again. Sainz now wasn't as close as he wanted to be to try and make the move.
Ooh.
But yeah, now Adeo keeping P8 and now under the 4 seconds from Rail. Yeah, now
8/10 of a second, 7/10 now.
In.
And you can see how much time is losing Rail at the moment because he's 9.5 seconds from Dilegge. He completely lost his pace in the last few laps of the race. Dilegge have already gained the time to stay ahead of Rail, even if Rail got no penalties.
Exactly, that was my point. I mean, Dilegge was totally faster than Rail, but I didn't think that Rail would lose so much time. I'm wondering whether he has damage, but I don't think so. It doesn't look like he has damage, but I don't know. Just Rail maybe wasn't as confident on medium tires as he was on softs, but he's really struggling right now, and Adeo right now 4/10 behind him, so it's going to be very close in the last couple of laps.
But we don't have to forget that Adeo have already 2 warnings, so yes, he have to push, but at the same time, he also have to be very careful because 1 more warnings and the battle is over for him.
Yeah, exactly. He has to be very careful. Wow, I think he's going to get it.
He's there.
Yeah,
3.1.
Yeah, and there's still 2 laps to go, so he definitely has the time to get it, but whether he will take another warning or not, we will have to see. But definitely he's the fastest guy out of the 2 right now. 2.9, there you go.
30.9 for Rail, 29.3 for Adeo, who have gained 8/10 of a second in the last lap on Rail, and now there are 2.8 seconds between Rail and Adeo. If Rail wants to keep its 7th place, he has to retake 2/10 of a second on Adeo. But it looks like the Sauber of the F1 Simu driver is much faster in these last few laps of the race, while Fab have already begun his penultimate lap.
It's incredible. Now he starts the final lap of the race, and
3 seconds.
yeah, it's just been an incredible race for him as Adeo now isn't closing in as much as he was before, so it's going to be very close in the end. Rail probably he knows that he has to push, so now he's just trying to take the extra tenth out of the car, just putting the maximum effort in to try and keep seventh place. It will be crucial for Formula Italian team to keep this seventh place.
Yes, pretty sure, but it looks like F1 Simonadeo is still gaining 2.5 seconds. Now Rail needs to gain up a second on Adeo if he wants to retake his place. And I've already seen Adeo with my own two eyes taking a podium in the first race in Australia for 4 thousandths of a second on Danix. And also the race later, 1 week later in Baku, losing a place for something like 13 cents of a second was again a very close arrival due to the penalties.
Yeah, and right now Fab into the final sector for the last time. What a race it has been for him. Incredibly clean, so quick. Definitely my driver of the day. Very good job from him.
Even for me, it was the same driver of the day for me. Fab on the last corner and on the finish line. Fab wins the United Kingdom Grand Prix in Silverstone.
Sainz on Adeo.
Sainz on Adeo.
He's gone through.
He's got through, but it's still ahead of Rail. 2.6
seconds.
So close. Ooh.
That's going to be so
sorry,
close.
because Sainz have 6 seconds, same as Rail.
Yes, but Adeo can overtake both of them right now.
Yeah, can be ahead of both of them,
oh my
but
God, it's so close.
No, 6 tenths. He's behind. He's behind right now. Oh, that. Daniele, this is going to be very close. Just stay there while Evan and Reds get the podium. Alebale closing in 4th place. Matthew in 5th. Dilegge is in 6th. But now the battle is right here. Rail on the last corner. 2.2 on Sainz. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. Yeah. Rail closing. Sainz coming. And Adeo is in 7th.
2 tenths. Wow.
Tenths for 258 tenths of a second. Adeo reached P7, putting Rail down into P8, and TF1 Sainz in P9. Then TF1 Verstappen closing in 10th place, and Simo Casciaro in 11th place, just ahead of his teammate Real Fedele. Sorry, Real Fedele in 11th place due to the penalties, and Casciaro in 12th. And there are the drivers, 1 Renault, 2 Mercedes, 1 Formula Italian team driver, that is Fab, 2 Formula Motorsport drivers, and these are Reds and Evan.
Great race for all 3. I mean, Fab was untouchable all race long, but the 2 F1MD drivers, they did an extremely good job at keeping the pace up. Did a very good strategy, very good stints. They did an exceptional job today.
And so at the end of the podium celebration, you can see right now the final standing. Fab winning the race, Heaven in 2nd, F1MD Reds in 3rd, and Alebale, Matthew, Dilegge, Adeo, Rail, Sainz, Real Fedele, TF1 Verstappen, Casciaro, Gae, Skanky, and then TF1 Albon. Unfortunately, the only retired drivers of tonight's race. So what we're waiting for right now is for the first 3 drivers join us right here for the post-race interviews. But before they come here in our company, just want to ask you an opinion on tonight's race.
It was a very good race, to be honest. Even though the strategy was pretty straightforward, we didn't really have alternative strategies apart from Dilegge. It was a very good one. I really enjoyed it. Of course, the win for Fab was never in question. He was always going to win after the first couple of laps. We already knew that nobody could challenge him, but a lot of battles between the F1MD drivers, between Verstappen and Fedele, between Sainz and Adeo in the end, and of course Adeo getting that place on Rail. It was a very enjoyable race, I think.
Okay, so now, as I said before, we're just waiting for the first 3 drivers to join us, and it looks like that we already have with us the race winner, Fab. We are just waiting for Him, Fab, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so as we already have the race winner here with us, I'm gonna start with him. Also, haven't already joined us, so we start with Fab. It was a great race. You get pole position in a full wet qualifying session, then you managed to get through after the first corner, and you immediately, after the first 2 or 3 laps, created the gap to maintain the lead, and in the end, you finished the race with more than a half minute on the rest of the group.
Can I speak Italian, Luca?
Yes, sure. I will translate it for you.
Ok, thanks. La qualifica sì, avevo scelto il setup asciutto, come infatti non è stato un giro proprio ottimo, potevo togliere un mezzo secondo ancora, però vabbè, bastava la pole e poi niente, la gara ha tenuto un buon ritmo, abbastanza costante nella prima parte e poi nella seconda ho semplicemente gestito senza spingere più di tanto, tranne il penultimo giro, che volevo fare il giro veloce, tanto per, diciamo, rimanere svegli, ecco. E niente, personalmente abbastanza contento, ecco, per il team sicuramente si poteva fare meglio in generale, però dai, mancano ancora qualche gara, speriamo di farcela, ecco. Comunque complimenti anche a Reds e Even per il podio.
Okay, so I in the qualifying session, I've got the opportunity maybe for going almost half a second faster. I've opted for a dry setup, so there was a possibility with a little with another setup to try to go a little bit faster. But, during the race, I've just managed my pace. Exception made maybe just for the penultimate lap and the last lap when I've tried to get the fastest lap of the race, just to just to not get bored. Unfortunately, it was not a very good night for the team, but we still have 4 races ahead of us, so we'll try to do our best in the next race to come. Ok, ovviamente passiamo anche agli altri, Fabio. Ok, well, we have also Evan and Reds, the 2 F1MD drivers who finished the race. In P2 and P3, we start with Evan. Evan, it was a very good race for your team. You always managed to maintain P2, P3, and also P4 with the Ferrari of Alebale. Unfortunately, looks like there were no possibility to try to take the victory with a pace far bad tonight.
So hey everyone, the qualifying session was very difficult for us because I don't like so much raining anyway, but we did team from all sports drivers a good lap in second, third, and fourth position, and we know that Fab was very fast than us. It's like Tonix. If Tonix doesn't play, it's very difficult to bet him. Anyway. The passing during the race was good, and we just managed the result for us is a mission complete because our object was arrive behind Fab and in front of Formula Italian team. So we are happy for our result. We did a good job. And during last lap, we enjoyed the last lap.
Okay, we also.
And I'd like to say congratulations to Fab because he was very fast and so well done. It was very difficult to stay with him.
Thanks.
Okay. Of course, we also have something to ask to F1MD Reds.
One second, Luca, and congratulations Reds too, and Ale Bailed because I think that we did a great job during this race. It was important to make points, so we are really happy and congratulations for Formula Motorsports driver. And I'd like to say hi to my dad that he's seen me during the race.
Okay. So,
Luca, per favore, per me, se mi potrò tradurre in italiano. Mi potrà tradurre.
Sure. Okay, so for F1MD Reds, so it was, as I was saying, for Heaven, you, in the end, you've just tried to manage the situation, to manage the pace, to manage the whole race, just trying to get for the team as much point for the standings you can. Quindi avete cercato, tutto sommato, come ho detto anche ad Evan, solo di gestire la gara, gestire il passo, gestire le posizioni e portare a casa per il team quanti più punti possibile stasera.
Sì, esatto, stasera vedo che comunque Fab era molto più veloce, non potevamo prenderlo, è stato tutto un gestire il passo, l'ERS, la benzina, switchare le posizioni per cercare di arrivare ai secondi, terzi e quarti, che comunque è un ottimo risultato per il team. Solo l'ultimo giro Even ha
Si è
dato un po' più di
divertito.
gas.
Okay, no, so I translate for the people watching at home. Yes, we just tried to manage the whole situation, the energy recovery, the fuel, everything, just to make sure we finish the race in P2, P3, and P4. And that's what we got it. We really try, as I say before, to manage the entire situation as a team, and was a very good result for us. Only in the last laps, Heaven decided to to do something.
The race was boring for us.
Ah, I know the feeling. Okay. Anyway. I think that at the moment I really have nothing more to ask after tonight's race. So we start to thank all the people that have been with us here tonight. First of all, let me thank my guest tonight on commentary. So thank you so much to Daniele Spadi for being with me on commentary tonight.
Thank you, Luca, and thank you to everybody that has followed us tonight.
Of course, also thanks to our broadcast director tonight, Alessandro Pietracatella. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, also congratulations and thank you to Fab, Evan, and Reds for being with us tonight after the race. And of course, congratulations for the result.
Thanks, good night.
Okay, of course, next stop is race number 3 next week. It's gonna be in Singapore. 50% race distance. It's gonna be the last 50% race distance of the season this Tuesday. And then we're gonna have Japan next Friday, and then race number 5 and 6 in Germany and Abu Dhabi on June 18th and June 21. In 2 weeks from today. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us tonight. I'm pretty sure we're gonna wait for you to vote your driver of the day on our official Twitter account. I remember you again, just go on our official Twitter account. You will find the poll to vote your driver of the day for tonight's race. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching us and for being with us tonight. God bless you. Good night. We'll see you next Tuesday for race number 2 in Singapore.